All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Lopez, and this is Boulevard Connect, all culture, cars, and community. And speaking of culture, I am very excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the culture queens, Miss Lowrider Princess. What's up, Vanessa? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to have you. We got Big Red Chula in the house. How are you?
I'm good. What up? What up?
What up? What up? And Santa Nera, OC player in the house. How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. What's good, people?
What's good?
Woo!
What's good? I'm really, really excited to have you girls here. I think everybody else is too. See, there they go. They're clapping. Yeah, here goes. So, anyways, Santanera, one thing I wanted to ask you, what happened with the pink hair? I love the pink hair.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm coming out with my wig collection. It's called
Okay.
You Alter Ego. Because,
Okay.
when you put in that wig, it makes you feel so different. It's like an alter ego that just brings out. So,
I didn't know it was a wig.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that this is a wig, but it is a wig. I do have hair. I do have
Oh,
long
okay.
hair. Um,
She does have hair,
but
people.
She's not
but I
bald. She's
love
not bald.
the feeling.
Okay.
We call it the magical wig because
All right. But let me tell you something. When I saw that pink hair and I was like, damn, I think it fits you. I think it's awesome. You look like a freaking rock star. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. I
Right? And I
appreciate you. Thank
absolutely
you.
yes. And then like different looks. Like what did Cardi B say one time? 10 different looks and my looks I'll kill. And that's pretty dope because you have all these the rappers, the ladies, and they're always switching up their hairdo and they look amazing,
Absolutely.
and it always
Absolutely.
gives us like a different excitement every time we see them. Like, what are they going to be up to now? Or.
Exactly. What are they
So
up
it's
to
dope.
now? And excitement. Those are two things. It's a great segue because I was scrolling through Instagram late night, like everybody does, and I saw this flyer for Culture Queens that Santanera put up. I was like, "What is this? This looks kind of cool." I didn't know if it was a cartoon, a movie they were doing, voiceover, whatever. But then I contacted her. I was like, "Hey, what's this Culture Queens thing?" And she told me it was this podcast with Miss Lowrider Princess, the Big Red Chula, talking about cultural events and things like that. I want to know from you how did this come together? Because honestly, it is a great idea. Three powerful Latin beautiful women in the community coming together as one. I think it's a great idea. How did this come about?
So,
I honestly I want to know that too because I think I was the last to know.
You
And
do know
it's
you're on the
crazy. I
show,
think I
right?
was the last one to know, but they had asked me like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of something? We think you have so much history from being in the lowrider scene since the '90s." And I was like, "Well, like okay, like I kind of just went with them, but I think Santaneta has more of that info. I just kind of rolled with it."
All right, Santanera, how did it come about?
along the ways, I met Elsa from Mijas Production.
Shout out.
And we just went hang out, went to a podcast. She invited us to a podcast that they had with La Femme.
Uh-huh.
And they kind of said like, "Hey, we had this idea," and it was just an idea, a casual talk. I said, "Yeah, whatever." And then it came to reality. So behind us is Good Mijas Production,
Uh-huh.
La Femme, and Talk to Me. So they're the producers behind this podcast.
Oh, really?
Um, Very good people. They've been in the industry a long time,
Okay.
and they Good Me has production show. They end up choosing Big Red and Vanessa.
Big
And when they
Red.
told me, I was hesitant because I was like, I don't want to just sit on a couch with some people I don't even know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But when they told me who was gonna be my co-host, I said, "Oh yeah, let's do it," because we're friends outside of just the scene.
So
And we're
Red,
just all a vibe. It's just such a good vibe with these ladies. They're so lovely. I love them. They're
absolutely.
positive.
We
I
love you
And
too.
and I love the show. That's why it's a
What's so
great vibe.
crazy? It's just it's fucking hilarious even behind the scene. I think because like when the cameras are rolling, it's kind of like I mean, even though we talk about everything or whatever, but when the camera's rolling, it's really fucking funny. Like we have such a good time. We talk about the craziest shit. I mean, maybe one of these days we could just bring that up and just go with the flow. But I love these ladies. They're not only beautiful, but they have a really good, great soul to them.
That's great. And it shows
So
too. It shows. It shows on
yes,
camera. Chula, how did they approach you? What were your initial thoughts?
You know what? I got a message from Elsa first.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of, hey, would you like to talk about this podcast and, you know, possibly doing, you know, a reality show and all this other stuff? I called her and I'm like, is this for real? She didn't tell me Santanera was behind it or anything until we all started like meeting.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, hell yeah, I love Santanera and Lowrider Princess. That's my homegirl too. So I'm like, perfect. I said, you know what you're getting this is your like you're starting fire right there.
Exactly. And it is fire.
That is gonna be it, you know?
Perfect. So Culture Queens, I love the name. It fits exactly what you girls are doing. So what is this? What is the podcast about? I mean, just the name alone says a little bit, but what are some of the topics that you're going to be talking about?
You know what?
So-
Everything. The culture, music, clothing, the low riding scene,
The
just events,
the-
things that are going on. And you know what? There's a lot of people that are intrigued outside of California, outside of the United States, and hopefully this brings them into light.
Okay, yes, absolutely. What are
and a
the
lot of history to that. Like people don't know, you know, like the youngsters coming up watching us. You know, we try and get some history behind, you know, like the OGs that have been doing it for years and years before us.
Mhm, mhm.
That too.
You know what's fucking is, speaking of OGs, me and my producing friend, we went and did some interviews last year in October, you know, getting to know some of the car clubs, and we got to know Click out of LA very well. And there were some OGs and there were the youngsters, and you can totally tell the difference of their history in the car club and in the culture. You know, it did came. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the OGs always talked about how violent it was back in the day, and now the youngsters that are growing up in the lowrider scene are all talking about respect for each other, the community, and now they're doing like trunk or treats and donations, backpack fundraisers, things like that. So it's a different vibe now. So yeah, there is a lot of history in the lowriding culture, and unfortunately, it has a bad history, but it's changing. And I think it's because of people like you and these podcasts that are bringing light to the community. So I think you girls are doing a wonderful thing. So what are the goals? What are the goals for this show? I mean, where do you want to take it?
Well, look, it started out as something fun, but it's getting like real. You know what I mean? Where our guests are being very real, and like Chula said, we want to bring the culture. And to me, especially to me, I want to make sure people, our future youngsters, know about their culture, and for them to understand where we're coming and why it's so important. And we get into other cultures too. We're just not It's not just going to be about the, you know, Hispanic community or the Chicano community. We're going to get into other cultures, but just to know the story of what's in the past, you know. So
Yeah.
And what's to come, the future for lowriding and the whole culture in it.
Yeah, because it's certainly changing. It has changed a lot. And what do you girls think about especially this year with the ban of lowriding is not a crime, and I believe you girls talked to a girl who had a big hand in overturning that ban. Yeah, there you go. And do you see a difference right now in the community, in the lowrider community, with the cops pre January 1st and after January 1st, or is it the same old bullshit? Because I'm hearing different stories. What are your experiences?
For me personally, before the ban or you know, whatever, like I was still gonna take my car out and I'm gonna ride, you know. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. But I feel like this had you know, let people get a little bit more comfortable, because a lot of people didn't want to take out their cars. They didn't want to be harassed. Okay. You know, and they stayed there. They just stayed home, you know, or stayed local. But I guess this gives them a certain relief that they're able to cruise.
Yeah. And what were some of the examples of some of the harassments? You know, examples of what would happen if it was pre January 1st.
Oh, they'll tow your car away. They'll take your car. They'll find any reason to pull you over. They couldn't see you pass two times because they will pull you over. I mean,
Really?
and not so much to
Yeah.
us ladies, like I said this before, but to our men, they did do that. So it did give a little bit of freedom where you could cruise. Now they can't just pull you over,
Mhm.
but I think we still need have a lot of work to do with the police, and we do want to work with them. You know, we're not trying to work against them. We want to work with them, and we want respect. That's what we want. Respect. You know, we're not gang members, or you know, we're members of the society, and we pay taxes, and you know, we got lawyers, we got teachers, we got nurses, we got so they should give us respect, you know what I mean? And I always say if you work with us, we'll check our own.
Yeah, I've noticed that in the community, a lot of people. There are some people, members of the community, that come out at some of these events. Say, "Hey, pick up your trash, bro. Hey, do this, do that. Hey, don't do that.
Yes.
We're gonna, So I think there needs to be a lot more self policing of bigger people like yourselves and other people in the community that especially for the youngsters, because they don't think they're playing checkers, they're not playing chess. They have to think about the long term effects of some of the things they do. So, how about you, Chula? Any differences that you've seen in the lowrider community pre and after the ban was lifted?
I'm like Vanessa, like we still went out and we did. I'm from the Coachella Valley, so I'm not in LA. I think it's worse out there than here.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's a little bit of harassment, they just, don't want us blocking the streets and that. But I'm very good when I throw events out here. I throw the lowrider events sometimes. So I make sure I let people know, respect the area, clean up after yourself. If you're gonna hop, block it for a second and then keep going. Sometimes they break down and that causes traffic, and then that's when law enforcement gets involved and we kind of talk to them. So I
Yeah.
mean, a little bit out here, but not as much as LA, I want to say. But it didn't stop us from cruising. We still went and risked it, So
Yeah. And by the way, I just heard you throw a lot of events, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be adding those events on boulevardconnect.com so everybody can know about that.
That's
yes.
right.
Little selfless plug there. Okay.
Yeah.
Go
And-
follow Boulevard Connect for all your events. You
There you
know,
go.
they have the updates wherever you're at, any city, state, they have it there. So
Thank you
go
very
follow
much
them.
for that. So, ladies and low riding, how big is this becoming? Because another change in the culture, a lot more women are riding their own lowriders now. They're not on the sideline anymore. They're not in the passenger seat anymore. They are in the driver's seat. How fast is this growing?
Very fast. Very.
Girl.
Back in the day, you didn't see a lot of women, but I know a lot of OGs from back in the day that I looked up to, like Mendoza,
Absolutely.
Tina, Sonia, these ladies, Sonia from Good Time, these ladies really, really rocked it and been putting in the work for many years. And me seeing that, being in younger in my teens, I was like, shit, this is dope, So I had to like climb the ladder. I had to work for my stuff. I had to, kind of see what car goes with me, what I wanted to do. And I've always been attracted to the cars. They're loud with their paint jobs, shiny with their rims. So I felt like they were the king of the streets, and so later on, fast forward, I just been writing and writing ever since then. And my life since the 90s always revolved around low riding. And to see all these women, I think we're also empowering the little girls and also even older women to go out and get their cars. We like cars too. I feel like some people are like, well, why does she like these cars so much, or why does she want them? It's like us, we didn't play with Barbies, we played with cars, so that's kind of what we got stuck with, so now we get to dress them up, and we get to build them how we want, and we get to show our personality in these cars, and I think it's dope.
Yeah.
It's growing, encouraging. It's encouraging a lot of women to come out that were scared to come out or intimidated. I've had a lot of women reach out to me, even in Texas, for advice. They want to start a car club. Even here, you didn't see the ladies like really want to come out and encourage them to start a car club out here. We started our own out here in the Coachella Valley, and it's encouraging and inspiring to a lot of women.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think it's cool. You know what's funny, Lowrider Princess of Vanessa. I've seen I've seen videos of you. I've seen your Instagram, and I always say, and I say this in the most positive way, you look like a gangster pink lady, from Greece. Like I think it's just empowering, and I love seeing that. I totally am about equal opportunity. I believe in women can do anything a man can, and sometimes probably even better. But I think it's
And it's
really
different
cool.
because people feel like you have to dress a certain way to be able to drive those cars, And for me, I've always had my dressing was a little bit different, maybe, had a little bit more like sex appeal and stuff. But I get because that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to dress or whatever. It's just, I've been doing it since high school or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I used to wear back in elementary the rolling hard shirts and the jeans and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like I don't know, everybody evolves. So I did and I mean it doesn't make me I don't know. I just I like it. So it doesn't change my mentality or whatever because of my dressing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. Now, do you girls still get, or not just you girls, any of the girls, and do you hear of any women still getting a little bit of pushback for being female lowriders?
Yeah, I think a little bit. You know what I mean? It's you know.
It's
you know what?
I
You
do.
know what? Yes. So all we could do, like the advice, I say, okay, so you like your car, and a lot of people doubt you. This is what I tell women. And you want to build your car, let your car speak for itself. Build your
woo.
car, build your car. And whoever's doubting you, let your car speak for yourself. And that's the trip that I'm on right now. So I have, I have cars, show cars. There's times where I just have cruising cars. I jump on it, but it's like, you know what? I want to build like I'm building an 87 Cutlass right now. Her name is Girls in the Hood. And I have on her
Fire.
door panel, Daddy, I'm in love with the gangster, but it's my touches. This is kind of like from me, my personality.
Mhm.
So, she's Candy, she's Flake. So Pinstripe by Mike Lamberson. So it's like, let your car speak for yourself. Anybody could talk shit, but don't talk shit if you're not building cars like this. And the people who are not talking shit are the people who are building cars like that,
There you
you
go.
know,
There you go. That's a good way of putting it. Good way of
for
putting it.
sure.
Go ahead,
Just
Santanetta. You want to say?
keep your head up high, your chin up, and keep rolling.
Santanetta,
Don't
Big
worry
Red.
about what nobody says. At the end of the day, if they ain't paying your bills, I always live with that. Like, it can't
Absolutely.
nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah, they can't tell
That
you.
part.
Now, what do you think? We talked about this earlier. I mean, what do you think the outside perception of the community is still now? People that outsiders looking into the lowrider community.
You know what? It changed a lot. Back in the day, we used to be pointed as, thugs, gangsters, troublemakers. But I see now that we brighten up the community. They love the loud cars. They see us doing fundraisers, helping out, and anybody reaches out to us. It doesn't matter if you're in the community or not. Like, we're there to help you.
Yeah,
We want to come out. So I think they're seeing that as well. So they're like, okay, cool. It's changing, and the cars, they're actually bringing people in the community together.
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Red.
I think it has changed because even me that I work in healthcare, people reach out to me like, oh, you're into the lowrider events. So even like the older people that are in retirement homes, they're like, hey, what if we have like just a cruise and we'll sit the patients outside just so they could see the cars? It'll bring them back
That would be
memories.
dope.
So like they've asked me, and even the doctors, they're intrigued. Like one of the doctors came to my last show in March and he was just like loving the cars, the people. I think people are curious and they see it's more like welcoming. It's like a family event. So
Absolutely.
they feel more comfortable coming out versus back then when it was looked at as a gangster thing and,
Absolutely.
dangerous. So
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I remember
We should do that. That's dope, Chula.
that
We
is
should
really
really
dope.
do that.
Yeah.
And
I'm
and
planning on
honestly, like it sparks something because they had these cars back in the day. To them, it was, a car. They had the 64s and 63s and the Bel Airs, like, so
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
dope.
It'd be
Do
cool
a
to
little
see
parade for them.
the light in their eyes. I had
Yeah.
that car. Look what it looks like now. I think that would be very cool. I think that's next on your list,
Yeah.
Chula. That's next
It
on your
is.
list
for
for
sure.
Coachella
I
Valley.
got
And we got you, girl. We got your back.
I know.
So, where do you think the lowrider community is going to be at in 5 or 10 years? Because it has changed. A lot of things are happening. I'm now seeing major 500 Fortune companies doing commercials with lowriders in their commercials. Now, look, the Super Bowl with Snoop Dogg. You know, you saw him driving. What was that? The mothership. You know,
Yes.
this is going mainstream. I think I saw a T-Mobile ad with female lowrider drivers in that commercial. I was like, wow, that is amazing. You know, now
It's
mainstream.
empowering.
Yeah, it is. It's empowering. Where do you see the lowrider community in 5 or 10 years from now? What do you think it's going to look like?
You know what? I honestly, I just feel like it's going to be more a positive impact. I feel like, because we've came a long way from, well, from me being in the 90s and then from hearing the stories
Yeah.
that weren't so positive in the 80s, like it just keeps getting better and better. And we could just pass it down to our people now and just to uplift them and hopefully they just keep the same thing rolling, just with positive and just helping the community and just making a better and bigger impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I think it's gonna be a lot. Like you said, we're on the map now. I see us as just as a culture. We're on the map, and people are loving it. We have other races coming in and trying to imitate our culture, or and nothing's wrong with that as long as they do it with respect. It's a good thing. Because that's like a form of admiring us, that we're doing something right, and I think like from back in the day to now, everything is becoming positive, like the lowrider, we're not low no more. We're not low class no more.
Oh,
You know
you're
what I
not
mean?
low class anymore. As a matter of fact, you're in the
We hop high like our cars. What?
as a matter of fact, you're in the Peterson Museum. You know, lowriders
Yeah,
have
they have the women's car there, and not only that, the whole they pick their cars. It's a bunch of beautiful lowriders in there, and
beautiful.
it's honestly it brightens up a lot of people because finally,
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
I don't know if you girls heard, but the Smithsonian is now doing something with lowriders, and there's going to be a big deal coming in from the Smithsonian, and that is a huge deal for the lowrider community. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. I'm not. I think all this. I'm not sure. I've been to a couple Smithsonian museums. I think they're all in DC. I'm not sure if they're anywhere else. I gotta check in on that. But if it's lowrider in DC, I think that'd be really really cool. I'm sure you girls are going to come out for that. So that's a pretty big deal.
that would be dope. Definitely,
Yeah.
we would have to take a trip.
Right? Oh, can you imagine lowriding in front of the White House like that? That'd be
Oh,
really,
wow.
really
Yeah.
cool. Right down in front of the Abraham Lincoln Memorial. That'd be really cool. So,
One of my goal is to
what's that?
hit New York. New York.
Ooh,
That's been a goal of mine for so long, just be cruising in Times Square.
what's
I
funny?
absolutely see myself out there.
That's your goal. But
I
this past weekend, there was actual a cruise that started at Bryant Park. I think somebody was about to post it on Boulevard Connect, but I'm not sure if it got canceled because of the rain. I don't know what's going on over there, but I think the cruise was supposed to start in Bryant Park and end up in Times Square
Oh wow.
this past weekend. I'm not sure if it happened or not because of the weather, but man, I was like, wow, I would have loved to have been there to see that. So
Wow.
it's happening. And I don't really think you don't really think New York City low riding. You think it's an LA culture. It's it started here in LA, San Jose. So you always think it's a California culture, but it is spreading its tentacles out into the rest of the country and in fact in the world. So it's really cool to
Definitely.
watch. Yeah. Ladies, you know what? I am honored. I am honored that you came on the show. It has been such a pleasure speaking with all three of you girls. Like I said, it shows in your Culture Cranes podcast that you girls are just good times. And I'm looking forward to many, many more your shows. Any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Shout out.
Just
Shout
to
out to the
everybody.
Culture Queens.
Yeah.
And you know what? Shout out to our car club, Girls in the Hood. We out. We're new, starting from scratch again, but Girls in the Hood, we're out there and Quality
an
over
exclusive
quantity.
for you right there, Cholo Lolo.
What's that?
That's an exclusive for you.
Oh, thank you.
That's
We have a brand new club.
brand
Not
new.
we, but
What's the name of the
yeah.
club again?
It's Girls in the Hood, Girls in the Hood Card Club. And,
So-
you know, we're about, you know, quality over quantity and just all positive vibes. So good hearts.
Good heart. And all three of you have big hearts. Red Chula, any shout outs that you want to give out?
I want to shout out to Elsa, Santanera, and Loretta Princess, my girls. You know, we couldn't do this without the whole team, you
Culture
know?
Queens.
Culture
Love you.
Queen.
Shout out to the Culture Queens.
Santanera,
Yeah.
anything you want to say before we leave you?
I just want to shout out to all of the community, for the support, to all of our women doing their thing. Keep on doing your thing. You know, I'm a big supporter to the prison reform. So all of our inmates, big shout out to you guys. You know, you guys always on our prayers. Just stay positive. You know, keep pushing. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Go ahead and get it. Do it. And we're always here, you know, if you have any questions, whatever, reach out to us. You know, we love to empower women, you know, that's what it's all about. And man too, you know what I mean?
And man, a couple of those guys too. Ladies,
yes.
I'm gonna send you a packet of the Cholo and the Lolos, the Manny, the Cholo Mouse,
Yay!
and the La Chismosa. So I'm gonna send you girls
I love it.
a little Cholo on
We
the
appreciate it. That is so
Thank
dope.
you. Thank
So,
you.
so
And
I'll get your address.
yeah, for everybody that supports us and everything too, shout out to you and thank you for having us.
So guys,
Much love to y'all, people.
guys, thank you very much for coming on Boulevard Connect. Culture Queens, go out on YouTube. All you have to do is look up Culture Queens and you will find their podcast. I guarantee it is a good watch. It's a good time with these three powerful, beautiful women. My name is Michael Lopez. If you want to know about anything that's going down in the car culture in our community, go over to boulevardconnect.com. Soon enough, you're going to be seeing Red Chula's events going down in the Coachella Valley on boulevardconnect.com. You want to sell a car, buy a car, put your car club up there. If you're looking for a model, photographer, anything like that, it's on boulevardconnect.com. It's the only website dedicated to cars, culture, and community. Ladies, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Thank you for having us. We appreciate you and everybody else.
Peace out.